Yeah, it's a fucking good ass goal, bro. Shit.
Start building up.
All right.
We'll see.
Hey, you got any shout outs, man? Any last scenes? Any final thoughts?
Nah, shout out Aries Jackson. Make sure you check them out.
Sure.
On every streaming site, AIRES Jackson. That's really the only shout out. Shout out to y'all for, you know what I'm saying, let me get on the mic and say some stuff.
Oh, for sure. This is definitely a dope podcast, bro.
Appreciate you.
I'm sure there's even much more that we don't even know about that you've done. It's crazy.
Man, yeah. But, you know, they'll find out. We call those Easter eggs. I always tell my brother, I was like, yo, they may not pay attention now, but eventually they're going to go back and they're going to realize how dope we were and what type of impact. Regardless of whether I make a list or not, or whether, you know, the powers that be, you know, it used to bother me a little bit and be like, man, I ain't getting no props or nothing, and I've done some shit. Especially when I hear people, oh, I'm the first to do this, or shout out to such and such being the first. And I'm like,
I am.
Yeah, I mean, you're really not the first one to, you know, to do that. Especially when people talk about radio, like it fucking blows my mind. Like you don't mention me at all, and I've done some shit that even to this day I've yet to see anybody else do. Anybody. But you know, you don't always get your flowers when you can smell them. But as long as them fucking checks keep coming in, I'm cool, man. As long as my little kids, like one of the coolest things, I remember when I did work for KS 1075 and I did the first summer jam. And I remember going up on stage, which was like, that was a dream. I go up on stage and they introduce me and the crowd starts crying, you know, screaming or whatever. And I heard my daughter in the audience. My daughter had to be 7 years old, 8 years old at the time. And I just remember saying, that's my daddy right there. That right there paid for everything. And then I got to take my son backstage to one of their shows, so he got to hang out with like Wiz Khalifa and Fat Joe and stuff like that. So he got to, you know, Dad was kind of cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then it got real bad real quick. And that working at that station fucked me up a lot. It took me into a really, really dark place. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to get out of. I think if I went back to radio now, my wife would probably divorce me.
She ain't having it?
She ain't. Like, she wasn't really having the radio station, KS, but she knew that I always wanted to work there. I made it there a year. And then I left. And because I was working both jobs. That's the thing about it. I was doing the radio and I was doing TV. So I'd literally wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to make it to the station by 4, do all the show prep and everything so the show was ready to go by the time they walked in. Then I stayed afterwards to cut up the promos and the best of, so I didn't leave until maybe about 11:30, 12 o'clock sometimes. I would go home, take a quick little nap, and I would have to be back at my other job by 3. So I'd literally work there from 3 till about 11, go home, get a little bit of nap in, wake up, and do the radio station. I didn't do anything with that money from the radio station. Every single check I got, I pretty much put half of it in my daughter's account and the other half in my son's account. I didn't even touch that money. So, you know, shout out to KS for helping pay for my son's tuition.
For the dope.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely do appreciate that. And it was funny because it was sometimes I'd go to concerts and I'd buy my own concert tickets and I'd look back at KS 1075 section and I was like, oh, that's what they gave y'all. That's the comp tickets. Unless you was the PD or the music director and then you was greedy and you kept all the cool shit for yourself. I can't blame them. I'd have did the same thing.
I can see that happening.
I would have did the same thing. I mean, I'm the program director. The boss gets first dibs. I remember when I first went to Summer Jam, they gave me 2 tickets to Summer Jam in the line. And I was like, nah, fuck it. Y'all can keep these. I'll just buy tickets. So I ended up buying like 6 tickets in like the 4th row because I wanted my family to see me there.
Right.
And then the PD was like, well, how can you afford that? Shit, ain't with y'all's money.
For real, huh?
I wasn't there for the money. I definitely had plans. Just didn't pan out. But it's cool, you know. I ain't got no ill will towards anybody there. Me saying I wish everybody got fired was kind of fucked up to say, but I was in a fucked up place. I do regret saying that. But anybody still mad about it can kiss my ass. Because they know why I said that. They know what the fuck they did, and they know exactly why. The people that didn't get mad about it, they knew what I was talking about. The people that did get mad about it, I was definitely directing it towards them.
There you have it, shit.
You know?
Said by Lenny Lenn.
That's pretty much it on my side. So,
There you
All right, brother. Well, shit, we definitely appreciate you coming on by, man. I mean, it was a great time. Like I said, this was dope. You know
yeah, it
what
was
I
good
mean?
seeing you, man. Ain't seen you in a
Dope
minute.
podcast. Learned a lot that I didn't even know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you those links though.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro. It's your boy JoeThunder. Got Elvis Presley.
Yo.
Follow us on all platforms. We are out of here.
Peace.
See you
Peace.
later. Hell yeah.
Those
I'm
niggas are
high.